Hafez is Iran's greatest mystical ghazal poet and one of the most influential figures in global literature. Ibn al-Farid, Sharaf al-Din Umar, who passed away in 1225 CE, is considered the greatest Sufi poet in the Arabic language. While Hafez and Ibn al-Farid differ significantly in their mystical approach and philosophical outlook, they share many common themes and spiritual motifs. This article aims to explore the unique contributions of these two remarkable literary figures, Hafez from the Western Islamic world and Ibn al-Farid from the Eastern Islamic world. By highlighting their individuality and shared themes, the study offers valuable insights into comparative literature and literary history, inspiring readers with their distinct voices. No poet, regardless of their greatness and talent, is free from the influence of their predecessors. Poets draw inspiration from earlier styles and ideas, refining them to create even more perfected expressions. This evolutionary process enhances the richness and precision of language, mirroring the broader cultural progress seen in philosophy, science, religion, and the arts. Civilizations borrow from one another, with each era building upon the last, transferring knowledge across nations and historical periods, leading to cultural advancement. Hafez, more than any other poet, even more than Sa'di, was influenced by his predecessors. He adopted themes from Rudaki, Sanai, Kakani, Nizami, Attar, Kamal al-Din Ismail, Iraqi, and Sa'di, as well as from his contemporaries such as Ohadi Maraghe, Amir Khusrau Dalavi, Khwaju Kermani, Imad Faki, Kamal Kujandi, and Shah Nimatullah Wali. However, he borrowed from them and refined and expressed their ideas more beautifully and artistically. Additionally, Hafez incorporated elements of Arabic poetry into his verses. Muhammad Guldam, a compiler of an early edition of Hafez's Divan and a contemporary of Hafez, explicitly stated in his introduction that Hafez studied Arabic literary principles and explored Arabic poetry collections. The late scholar Abdul Hossein Zarankub noted that Hafez frequently searched through Arabic poetry, examining works such as Abu al-Faraj al-Isfahani's Kitab al-Aghani and al-Buturi's Hamasa. He was likely familiar with the works of Abu Nuwas, al-Mudanabi, al-Buturi, Abu Firas, and Abu al-Ala al-Ma'ari, and Ibn al-Farid's poetry. One of the most significant Sufi poets of the 13th century, Ibn al-Farid, Sharaf al-Din Umar bin Ali al-Hamawi al-Misri, profoundly influenced subsequent mystical poets. Living during the Ayyubid dynasty, he experienced the turmoil of the Crusades, spent time in Mecca, and later withdrew into spiritual seclusion. Although his father was originally from the Levant, Ibn al-Farid was born and died in Egypt. While scholars disagree on the exact date of his birth, Ibn Khalakhan, in his Wafayat al-Ayan, recorded his birth as 1181 CE and his death as 1225 CE. Since Ibn Khalakhan was a contemporary of Ibn al-Farid and a meticulous historian, his account is generally regarded as reliable. Among Ibn al-Farid's notable contemporaries in the field of Sufism were Shihab al-Din Surawardi, author of Awarif al-Ma'arif, and the great mystic Ibn Arabi, whose prominent disciple, Sadr al-Din al-Kunawi, played a significant role in interpreting and expanding Ibn Arabi's thought. The late scholar Sayyid Jalal al-Din Ashtiani, in his extensive introduction to Masharik al-Dirari, a commentary by Sa'd al-Din Farghani on Ibn al-Farid's poetry, highlights the poet's exceptional skill in mysticism. Ibn al-Farid, the composer of the unparalleled Ta'iyya al-Kubra, was one of his era's most profound Sufi poets. His poetry reflects deep insight into the stages of mystical journeying, divine love, and spiritual transformations. Sa'd al-Din Farghani, a learned commentator on Ibn al-Farid, described him as the sheikh, the imam, the righteous scholar, the noble mystic, the eloquent poet, Sharaf al-Din ibn al-Farid. May God sanctify his soul, who, in expressing the stations of love and the path of divine knowledge, composed verses of unmatched beauty. Sadr al-Din al-Kunawi, a disciple of Ibn Arabi, emphasized the profound significance of Ibn al-Farid's Ta'iyyah by teaching it in Egypt, Syria, and Anatolia, considering it an unparalleled summation of divine knowledge and mystical truths. In addition to his profound engagement in practical mysticism, marked by asceticism, devotion, and spiritual discipline, Ibn al-Farid was also a master of theoretical mysticism. His poetry systematically articulates mystical stages and insights with extraordinary precision. making his work unique in world literature. Hafez's ghazals are the voice of love and eternity, blending delicate mystical reflections with philosophical and social insights. His verses infuse passion, wisdom, and artistry, elevating Persian lyric poetry to its highest form. His poetry resonates deeply, enchanting readers with its lyrical beauty and emotional depth. In his divan, Hafez conveys a unique mystical vision that does not strictly adhere to formal Sufi practices. He rejects conventional asceticism, formal spiritual orders, and claims of miraculous powers, preferring an independent, free-spirited approach to mysticism instead. He ridicules the hypocrisy of institutionalized Sufism, advocating instead for personal, experiential spirituality. While divine love is fundamental to Hafez's mysticism, his approach differs from traditional Sufi orders. The late scholar Dr. Mortazavi believed that Hafez embodied the essence of Sufi ethics, but was not a conventional disciple of a particular Sufi path. Instead, he was a genuine mystic with an enlightened and broad-minded vision. Despite his passionate and profound mysticism, Hafez rejected superficial spiritual claims in favor of genuine insight. His poetic mastery, as Dr. Khorramshahi stated, surpasses his purely mystical role, enlightening readers with his genuine insight and significant contribution to Persian poetry. Both Ibn al-Farid and Hafez saw themselves as devoted servants of love, surrendering completely to its power. They embraced the trials of love with joyful acceptance, demonstrating a shared spiritual journey that resonates with readers. Ibn al-Farid: if you are truly her servant, you are freer than any who falsely claim freedom. Hafez: I speak it openly and take pride in my words, since I became a servant at love's tavern door. Hafez: your guardianship, if you call me your servant, Hafez would never complain of your cruelty. I am the servant of love and free from both worlds. I recall every sorrow that comes from you as a blessed memory. I shall rise above the sovereignty of the cosmos. From the day I became bound to you, I became free. Hafez and Ibn al-Farid consider love's martyrdom to be eternal life and everlasting existence. Hafez: listen to this strange tale from my unfortunate fate. Under the sword of his sorrow, one must dance with joy. At dawn I spoke with the breeze in the tulip garden. It replied, Hafez, neither you nor I are privy to this secret. The killing of this wounded lover was not predestined by fate. Ibn al-Farid: even if you shed my blood, O beloved, do not consider it an injustice, for my soul itself belongs to you. How many like me have entrusted their passion to the rose? My beloved's breath has slain me like the life-giving breath of Jesus. He who is slain by love attains the best of fates. Who are these martyrs, all clothed in blood? Tell the tale of ruby-colored wine and sweet-lipped beloveds. Otherwise, no blame could be placed upon your merciless heart. If my fate calls me to martyrdom, then let it be. My soul belongs to you, and I shall not complain. If only you cast a kind glance at me, then my dignity and honor would be restored. If my love sheds my blood, then so be it. For one who does not die in gratitude for love, wisdom has failed him. If you kill me and make my blood lawful, it is an honor for me to know that you decreed my death. Killing me is not cruelty, but rather a way to grant me life. Thousands like me have been slain for love. This is a mercy, not an injustice. If my blood is shed in love, it elevates my status and rank. Life exists only through love. Both poets believe love is a divine gift, a ladder to the heavens, and a path to truth and enlightenment. Through love, one can transcend the dust of the earth and ascend to the highest realms. Spiritual and moral perfection can only be achieved through love. They argue that a person without love is not truly living, but merely existing. Such a life is devoid of the joy and fulfillment that love brings. Eternal happiness, they contend, is found in the blessing of love, underscoring the urgency and importance of love in our lives. Both poets sought to guide humanity toward love, viewing a life devoid of love as a source of misery, deprivation, and misfortune in this world and the next. Their words serve as a beacon, guiding us towards the self-sufficiency and ultimate enlightenment that love offers. Ibn al-Farid: there is no life in this world for one who lacks love. He who does not die in gratitude for love has no share in its blessings. His life is wasted, and he has lost his time. He who does not let the wine of love intoxicate his soul has lost the joys of life. One must mourn for the person who wasted the capital of his life without ever tasting the wine of love. Hafez: precious time is past. Come, let us make amends. A lifeless heart found revival once more. The wealth of my heart was spent on wine, a life that passed without the goblet and wine, a heart that remained untouched by the scent of love, a soul left dark and impure. Become a lover, or else the world will soon end. O heart, never be without love and intoxication. Only by embracing love's mysteries can you transcend the illusion of existence.